T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello guys and dolls, welcome back to Honey Badger 3D Print and Paint. Today we are taking a look at the Falcon 2 from Creality. I'm joined by Carl. All the men want to be him, all the women want to stop following him. Stop
and run the opposite way.
And I'm also joined by Mike, the 40-year-old human toddler.
Fair.
This is the Creality Falcon 2. It is a fiber laser. They have made it a 22-watt laser. It's a 22-watt laser because they have taken six. Oh, sorry, hold on. How many? They've taken
4.
Is it 4?
Yeah,
four
4
6-watt
times
lasers. Now, I don't want to tell Creality how to add, but 4 6s is not 22. It's 24. So either we're losing bits of lasers, which is odd, or someone at Creality can't add up. I don't know which one it is. This was not provided to us by Creality. This was provided to us by a company called Linkbucks. They are an affiliate company. They did not give us an affiliate link. So that was really great. So if you want to pick one up, go down to the link in the video description. There is a link to the Creality website. You can buy one direct from Creality. Let's take a look at this machine. This has been looked at already by another reviewer, and it was then sent on to us. So I'd be lying if I said I knew what the state of this was going to be. So we may have some issues that we need to resolve, but it's okay because we're problem fixers. So it's not going to be a problem, is it?
Well,
we're not going to have any issues.
So the thing with this laser that I like, it comes with the air kit. So you've got
It does indeed, yeah.
It's got 3 levels of warning system, like a cut off, smoke detector, and something else. So they're all going like this now, aren't they? They're all having more powerful laser heads, having all these nice features, and they come as standard with all the gadgets you need for it.
So interestingly, you get some stickers from Creality.
Well, he didn't want to keep them, did he?
Fun fact, are all about 3D printing. So you get a flow diagram, which is the single worst instructions I've ever seen in my entire life. That is literally what you get. And then on the back, it's a very colorful document that says, please assemble the machine. Try and complete the first artwork.
On the flow diagram is one of the options duct tape.
So it starts out with place the protective honeycomb work table, which is optional, and we don't have, and processing material. Adjust the focal length, save the G code, insert the TFT card, power on. Machine resets. Wait for the machine to complete resetting. Press frame to enter preview map. Right, okay, fine. Well, anyway, that's all the stuff there. We then get a quick guide as well, which is all in Chinese. So
3DP UK, there is an actual video of someone who got a tattoo off a laser, and I said to James, I'll do it, and he refused to do it.
Yeah, I sent you that video, didn't I, James, as well?
Yeah, you did.
I said to him, I'll do it.
I can tell you right now, it ain't happening on this channel. So if that's what you've come here to see,
it might be
a grown man burn his hand. I can assure you it will be by accident.
It could be on TikTok.
What we've got here is we've got 4 extra legs. So these legs will raise up the machine in case you've got you've got quite thick material or you need a higher offset. It comes with a little brush. It comes with a USB-C cable, and then it comes with 3 or 4 little bits of wood and a piece of metal. So they are just test pieces for you. I do not think that the chap who reviewed this last actually got this out of the box because everything in here has still got the cable ties on. It has still got, I mean, everything's still in the old.
Like he didn't even keep the glasses.
Well, I would.
He didn't even put the glasses on. I can smell when someone else wears glasses. Is why I only ever wear my own. And these Are fresh glasses. I can tell that. So I will say they're actually pretty good because they go all the way around the side. So when you put them on, there's no way that a laser can get in because lasers are sneaky. There's one thing you take away from this live stream. Know that. They'll catch up. They'll sneak up on you.
Yeah, they do.
Right. We've then got
the fire sneaks up on you.
Like, I do not think this has even been opened. Please read the manual and the security statement.
That's not been opened at all.
That has not been opened. So it looks like we are getting a fresh machine. So this is the laser tool head. You can see here that we've got a nice clip. We've got a nice piece of protective acrylic on the front. There are 3 things on here: air, fire, and lens, not to be confused with air, fire, and water, which are the 3 elements The Last Airbender uses. Slightly similar, but different. Hi, Matt. We've then got another pack with some more test materials on it. We have a little box with some little things. So in the little box of little things, we have some keys.
Oh, safety keys.
We have some tiny little tweezers.
I've got a feeling the last person didn't review it.
I also thought the last person didn't review it. We come with a tiny cloth.
For your tiny hands.
To do. Well, this is actually This is actually a beach towel, but my hands are so big that it looks tiny.
No, that's just for you to do close-up magic because you've got tiny hands.
That is for me to do close-up magic. Where's it gone? Amazing. You saw it here first. We've then got the air assist module, which still has its
peel.
Little bit of peel on it. So this air assist will attach to the printer, and it will help it to do. What's this?
Maybe.
What does that say? Please check the filter and cotton and clean it if the airflow is weakened. Okay. All right, cool. So we've got that.
It's very similar to the Comgrow one they've got now as well.
Oh, we did get the. Okay, fair enough. I stand corrected. We did get a
board.
We did get a honeycomb. Running out of places to put packaging. Goes there. So we did get a honeycomb material. So this raises the material that you're printing off of the table, and it protects your table. So that's good. There you go.
To be fair, because the piece of wood we did use on other lasers was Scorchio.
Yes, I still have the marks on my table as we speak. So
I know I set fire to my wood.
Absolutely, still, that's absolutely a problem.
Yeah, I set fire to mine once or twice.
Yeah, we've all set fire to things. So what else have we got?
I just sat there watching it getting bigger.
That's about how much interest I have in lasers.
Yeah.
Watching the fire grow.
I was sat there like,
this
oh shit,
is
my battery's on there.
Well, this is a highly reflective piece of aluminium.
And that's why your glasses.
I don't know whether or not this is supposed to go underneath.
It goes on the bottom. That, yeah.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. What it's meant to do is meant to improve the cut as well, or the burn, because it allows the laser to breathe underneath or whatever it is.
Fair enough.
It's a very small one though, considering how big the laser is.
And then we will get out the actual laser itself. So let's get this box out of the way. Well, that's somehow more in the way, but fair enough. Right. Pop this out. So let's have a little look. So we've got. Okay, we're going to have to move my gaming pad. Well, that's gone away. Right. So this here is for the air assist. And we do need to put the feet on this So this doesn't have the feet on it as standard. I'm going to put the feet on. So I'll say this, in terms of setup, there's not going to be a lot, because basically you put these feet on, you slide on the quick release tool head, and you've got yourself a setup laser.
Non-stick, I would agree with you. They are starting to look a bit like X-Tool lasers now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But it's still quite rare to find lasers coming out that are pre-built like this, because they're normally all in a small little box, all broken up. Because the last one was, you had to assemble the whole thing last time.
Yeah. I mean, most of them are, to be fair. Most of them are. So there we go. So we pop that up there like that. That will let us put our honeycomb in the middle.
Oh, the honeycomb just fits in there.
Well, I mean, I'm not being funny. it's quite a large build volume that we're looking at here. So this slides in. Undo the side there. That just slides in like that. Right, so we take this out and we push that into the top. And then one would assume that this plugs in right here. Yeah, you will have to bear with us on some of the camera angles tonight, because every single camera we own seems to have broken, except for the one that I'm currently using. So
they all just stopped.
They all just stopped, almost exclusively at the same time as well.
Last week as well, when we was doing the live stream last week, we was getting it ready to set up, and all the cameras just stopped working.
Yeah, and all the cameras just went, not for me.
I reckon they're following the rest of the people in the UK and going on strike.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Like where my missus works, they're going on strike for 5 weeks.
What?
For 5 weeks?
5 weeks.
I thought your missus was a carer.
No, still civil servant now.
Oh, is she? Oh, okay.
Yeah, she does passports and all that. But yeah, they're going on strike for 5 weeks.
Well, it's all right. No one could afford to go on holiday anyway. What does it make any difference?
Well, they're just trying to get people, because they won't be able to get their passports, will they?
Right. Okay. Then we have this pipe here. And this pipe will come over to the air assist, which pushes on there.
Can you adjust the power on the air assist, or is it just one second?
Well, so the air assist goes into the machine itself. Okay. So it's powered from, there's a side port just here that this plugs into, and there is, so apologies, you won't be able to see it, but basically there's where the port plugs in, there's a plus and a minus, and like a volume slider almost. So yeah, I suppose is the short answer.
Yeah, Phil, I think what was the laser you did last time? He had the cutoff, didn't it, if it detected smoke?
So the last one we did was the X-Tool D1 Pro.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a 20 watt. It wasn't. The one they sent us was actually a 10 watt, which had its own issues, to be honest. Just looking to see if any of these bits of wood they've given me a straight. That one is. Okay, so air assist goes on the side there. And then we have...
Here's a question for you then, Mike. Question, is the Carbon X1 worth the extra £400 more than the P1P?
Depends what you're going to be printing, I suppose. What material?
Yeah. So...
The thing is, you can put a P1P as an X1. You can buy the AMS. You can buy the camera to go in now. So, you know, you could buy the P1P and pick up an AMS and...
Yeah, so for me, the biggest thing is, or the biggest issue I have is the noise from my X1. My X1 is loud. And if my X1 wasn't enclosed with nice thick panels, I'm not going to lie, it would be a problem.
Yeah.
Because I take calls and I stream sometimes from my garage. From my summer house. So hold on, just plugging this in. If I wasn't able to sort of quieten that down, well, this isn't going to work, is it?
In the Facebook group, there seems to be a lot more people buying the P1P at the moment. I don't know if that's just due to
it's price.
Yeah,
I can imagine price comes into it a lot. To be fair, like it's cheap. Like it's cheap compared to.
Look at Sam Prentice. He's running what 4 or 5 at the moment of the P1Ps, and
anything on fire yet? No.
Give it 20 minutes.
Turned it on yet? Soon.
I was going to say, I've not even turned it on yet. That's a real level of pessimism.
It all depends. I reckon if you're going to get the P1P, it all depends what you want to print, though. Really.
Yeah.
Because if you want to do the more fancy filament, like the carbon fibers and your ABSs and all that sort of thing, then you're possibly looking at getting the X1.
Yeah.
You don't need the X1's carbon. You can just buy all the bits when you need it.
Yeah, true. That is true.
But then if you look on the groups on Facebook, you see a load of people have done loads of like insulation for the P1P and made it really quiet. Because it hasn't obviously got the part calling fan, you know, like on yours, which is quite noisy, isn't it?
Yeah.
From the panels.
It was mostly PLA, then get the P1P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd probably PETG be perfectly fine on the P1P. You'd probably get away with TPU on there as well. But I get the P1P and buy an AMS. You save a couple of quid.
Well, the air assist isn't quiet. Can you hear that?
Yes. I'm not going to say what it sounds like.
Okay, so if I press home on this, it should
go back to China.
Well, it's already ahead of the X tool because the X tool didn't even. So let's turn that.
It only went to the back corner, didn't it?
There we go. So you can turn it. You can turn the air assist right down. To be fair,
which is good though, because different wood has different like burning levels, doesn't it? Really.
If you look at the Bamboo site now, they appear to have removed the X1 from sale, only selling the X1 carbon and the P1P. So I'm not surprised by that. So hold on, let me unplug this air assist for the moment. So I'm not surprised by that at all. I honestly don't think. Oh, interesting. So without the air assist plugged in, the machine's actually turned off.
That's good. Good little feature.
So that's the machine. That's the machine turning itself off. So,
what does it say on the website though, Paul? Does it say it's just sold out or it's not on there anymore? Also, they've removed the X1.
Yeah. So I honestly don't think that Bamboo were making any real money off of the X1. Does the laser have adjustable feet for thicker items? And any ideas on the max cut? So the max cut on this, if I recall,
16.
is it will do.
Was it 16 millimeters?
It will do. Hold on. Oh, okay, I'm just going to turn this off for the minute because it's a very annoying noise. Let me pull up the. I'm just on the site at the moment. Yeah. Silicon foot pads. Yeah. So yes, you can buy adjustable risers, but the adjustable risers are so the feet are slightly adjustable. There's silicon pads on there, but the risers you can buy as extra parts. This one hasn't come with any extra risers. There's just the feet that are on it, and obviously you can move the laser up a fair amount as well. So it claims it will do 15 mil wood with one pass. So It says here 15 millimeters of wood with one pass is what it will do. Now, how quickly it'll do that, don't know. But yeah.
Okay, so on here it says it's got a lens monitoring system. So if the lens is dirty, it won't work.
So I'm assuming that's why you get
your tiny little magic cloth.
A special little brush. There we go. This is your little lens brush. Hi, Stephen. 15 mil softwood. Yes, more than likely 15 mil softwood.
Yeah,
it just says it will cut 15 mil of wood with one pass. It doesn't say what that wood is. It just says 15 mils wood with one pass. So, right. So let's open up my Lightburn. And okay, your device list. I'll turn it on.
To be honest, Phil, you could probably print your own beat razors for it anyway.
Yeah.
You go online on like Thingiverse. There's most lasers out there.
So let's just see. Find my laser. Scanning for connected devices.
Assuming this is a Dido laser.
Add. Falcon 2. Where is the origin of your laser? Front left. Yep. That's it. Here's your summary. Good. Okay. So, well, it's set up. So let's now see. So I'll say this, it doesn't like having the air assist turned down. If you turn the air assist down, then it does turn the machine off.
It's got quite a load of safety on it, though. You've got the key.
It is a safety feature to an extent, but surely you can...
got a smash button for when it's exploding.
I suppose it stops people, though, like putting in claims against Creality because they turned it right down and didn't understand the wood they were cutting.
Yeah.
Because, like, laminate...
Right, let's have a quick look for something that we can do on here. There we go. Yin and Yang design. That'll do the job.
Just do the honey badger logo.
Turned off again. Why are you turning off? So what if we don't plug in the air assist then?
I think with like CO2 lasers though, Phil, they're kind of quite big and chunky and bulky, aren't they? They have a lot of luggage that has to come with them, like say with water and. I just hang mine on my wall. Not yet, Paul. Give it a minute.
Just looking to see whether or not it says anywhere that you can, because the air assist now isn't plugged in, and the machine has now turned itself off, it seems. So let's just bring in a DXF file. I mean, that's a giant DXF file, so that's going to be a problem. All right, shrink that down. Shrink that down a lot.
Yeah. You're not in your shed, Carl?
No, because it's a shithole.
Fair.
Fair.
It's literally just become a dumping ground over winter. So I need to get in there when it warms up a bit and get back to it. I think it says here, though, James, the alarm function is disabled by default. So please enable it in the settings if needed for the air, for fire, and for lens. So you must be able to
okay.
turn the air off.
Install the laser module. Yeah, fine. Preparation.
Well, I've got the high tree keyring printing in a minute.
What print is that on?
The high tree keyring.
Ah, very nice.
which is basically what's left of the shell of an Eldorado Saturn.
Awesome. Is the print quality off there good?
Yeah, so we've got another video coming out on Monday, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
It's currently printing a Bilbo Baggins.
I have to say, I like your Star Wars video the other day.
It was so heavy, and it was hollow. But then saying that Thanos that James is doing at the minute, I printed 2 pieces on the Frozen, didn't I? Because they were too big for the M3, and they were seriously heavy and hollowed, and there was only 1.8 mil thick.
Jesus. So this is currently $1,200.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right. So what happens if we click frame? Right. Console.
Really high tree video we've got coming out.
Yeah.
We disassembled the entire thing.
Oh, cool.
So how you would build it yourself. And if you use one of your printers that you're going to put on this, the changes you have to make to it are permanent.
So you can't go back.
No.
I suppose though, like when you've had a resin printer for maybe 2 years, the screen does go.
Well, what you're doing on this is taking an angle grinder to the bottom of your printer and cutting a massive big square out of it.
Oh, don't look at the light,
glasses
James.
on, quick! You were nearly blinded. You're going to have archive tonight.
I mean, it's doing something.
Granted, you look really special, but it is doing something.
Nearly got caught without my glasses.
Yeah, do not anyone, under any circumstances, use painter's touch white gloss.
Again.
Agreed.
If you breathe on it, it left an imprint.
Yeah, as long as it's not pink eye.
Right, so this is only going. So if we put this up to 40.
It's like one of the shows off Red Nose Day with James on there with his glasses.
He looks like a film that was made in the 80s but was meant to be set in the future. Like Back to the Future, something like that.
Watch out, E.T. James is coming for you.
Right, so first and foremost,
Well, that was quick.
that needs. Yeah, it didn't do what I wanted it to.
Okay.
So I just need to move the laser down a bit.
Has it got a guide on the side, is it, James?
Right, try that again. I will say that it's harder than I'd like to hear a lot of you guys. So if you talk amongst yourselves. No, that was bad. Stop that.
Big Caspian. Blade Runner. So what big prints you got planned next then, Mike, on your resin printers?
We are currently trying to sort out. We are going to be doing the Gambody Ecto 1 from Ghostbusters.
Oh, yes.
But it's going to be nearly a metre long.
But, yeah, I've seen that file. It's massive.
There is like 4 pieces. There's about 200 odd files in it. But there are 4 pieces which are too big to go on the Mega.
Wow. Well, that's it with Gambody, though. If you're going to do Gambody, you've got to go in both feet. You can't be just like, oh, it just take me a year to do.
Well, no, I'd want to have it done in about 3 weeks. We're actually talking to Photocentric at the minute, who we think are going to print the big pieces for us.
Okay,
and also all the glass, the lights and the sirens, they're going to print them in their crystal clear.
Oh, that'd be good.
Which comes out like a glass.
Yeah.
So hopefully they're going to be able to do them for us, which will leave me about 150 files to print.
Have you seen the Flying Bear Reborn 2? Looks fairly decent. The last couple of weeks I've seen quite a bit on that, actually. It does look some good improvements on it. Good to see James looking like Stevie Wonder.
Right, so as always, with a laser, there's a little bit of trial and error of trying to get it level adjusted right. And Mine C-Tech, have you seen the Flying Bear Reborn 2? I mean, that's starting to sound a bit like the Gillette Mach 3 Fusion Pro 2 power model, isn't it? With ProGlide technology.
How'd you adjust the head on that laser then, James? Is it on the side?
How do you lift the head? There's two thumb screws, and then you just move it up and down the slider, and then you screw it back in.
So there's no gauge to tell you what the depth should be?
There is no gauge.
I suppose it's better than a piece of acrylic you put under it to level it.
It smells like burning.
Some retro music.
I'm in danger. So this is just a DXG file that I found on the drive. So it's literally a yin and yang symbol. So I'm doing that. It's a couple of dragons doing yin and yang. Why not?
The Facebook user is Martin Henshaw.
What's that? Sorry?
Martin Henshaw's the Facebook user.
Right.
Tell him to log in properly then.
Right.
It does move pretty quick, that laser, though.
Quick.
Like I'm not being funny.
That looks good. That's pretty clean as well.
That's at 80% moving at 800 millimeters a minute, I think. And I reckon I could easily go up in speed and reduce the little bit of scarring that's there. I do feel like I'm doing stars in our eyes. And tonight, Matthew, I will have carcinogenic diseases.
Well, tonight you was Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. So let's try speeding that up. Because that was at 600 millimeters a second. So let's go to 850. Which is still only 80% power as well, bear in mind. And that was one pass. So let's just get that to frame.
If you haven't used the laser before, it's quite surprising how quick they are. Because you get so used to setting your waves with like 3D printing. Like you hit a print.
In fact, let's go to 1,000. Why not?
Let's go 4 figures. I did
What's the worst that can happen? Old glasses. Hold on, I'm going to get me good glasses because I don't like those ones. That's better. The Bono glasses.
Yeah, there's really good calendars out there. I've done a Star Wars one. There was a Simpsons one I've done as well. But yeah, if you need to make them a bit bigger because the detail is quite fine.
So it's interesting you say that, Stephen. I don't know what the minimum diameter of your laser goes down to. So this one, it does say on here, it goes down to a 0.1 spot size. So what program have you linked up with? I use K40 Whisper. So I'm using Lightburn. So right now I'm using the free trial of Lightburn. There is an SD card that comes here. I don't know whether it comes with any other software. I haven't looked at it yet.
Non-sticky.
So I'm using Lightburn at the moment, and it's doing a good enough job. What it doesn't have, so the thing I really liked about the X tool, although actually it turned out to not be that great, was when we were using the X tool, it came with the X tool software. The Xtool software had a bunch of, it detected that it was a D1 Pro, and it had a bunch of predefined settings for those machines. And that meant that you could go in, say, I've got 10 mil ply, I want to cut it, and it would automatically decide what the laser settings needed to be to achieve that. This is just using, and I say just, but it's just using Lightburn. And it would be nice if it was, so that may even still be too high on power. Or we can make it go faster.
Faster's always better.
Shall we make it go faster, kids? How fast would we say would be too fast to go?
But it says it can go 2,500 millimeters a second, doesn't it?
Well, put it at 2,500 then.
It can go 2,500 millimeters a minute.
2,500 millimeters a minute. 2,500 or 25,000?
25,000.
Right. So they're different numbers. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but that many zeros is a problem. So 25,000 divided by 60. Well, that's 416 millimeters a second. And I've got it running at 1,000 millimeters a second. And I'm only on 80% power. And I challenge that it's still either too slow. I'm going to put the power down to 60. And I'm going to put the speed up to 1,200. Let's frame that and see how it does. Home. Well, go in. See how that does. Works on GRBO and Lightburn non-stick. Yeah. Make a good clock face. Let's see if I've got some clocks. They're all coasters. Clocks. Let's have a look. Oh, that's a Cutty and an Etchy. I'm not going to do those on this. What's that? Yeah, that one could work. Have we got any of these in DXG files, or are these all CDRs? I tell you what, we'll do a clock face as part of the review, but a lot of these are cutting rather than etching, and I don't really want to do cutting yet. I'd rather sort of get to know the settings first before I start burning through stuff. Carl said you can print him a wooden spoon for the end of his Premier League season. Oh, that's hurtful, Carl.
That's not as funny because, well, it was 2-2.
Yeah. It could be worse, couldn't it? Let's sit on the high cloud and beat Man United 7-0 and then lose to Bournemouth 1-0.
Yeah.
It could be worse, couldn't it?
Not be consistent. At least you lose or draw.
Yeah. We've won 3 games in the last couple of weeks. I'm happy with that.
So this is really thin, right? This is only like 1.5 or something. That's it on the front, which is really clean. Like there's no scorching on that or anything, except for a little bit right in the center. And then on the back, you can see that it's gone pretty hardcore there. So I think I probably need to still lower the power. So that's doing 1,200 millimeters a second, and that's on 60%. That's on 60% power. I would debate you could go both faster because that's still accurate, but still bring that power right down. So I'm probably going to bring that power down to 40. So 1,240 is what I think you'll be cutting at when you're doing a line. And yeah, like you can't really argue with that right out of the box.
Is it getting smoky in there?
Pardon?
Is it getting smoky in there?
It's more than getting smoky. It's very smoky. I
wasn't sure whether it was smoky or whether you just put Vaseline on the lens to make it sort of,
There's nowhere to. I don't know why I'm banning it. There's nowhere for it to go.
The problem with having air assist is literally just blowing the smoke out.
Yeah.
Area.
Super is, yeah.
What
if anyone
it's
thinks the quality of the stream's gone downhill, well, it has.
It cuts your wood a lot better, but it makes you, get CPDO in about a year's time.
Right, let's grab the Honey Badger logo, and we'll see if we can. Let me just do text. Hold on. I don't think that's going to work. So what could we do that would be a quick cutout that would look good? What have we got in laser that I can use? What's in decor? Very, very complicated things. They're not going to work. Earrings? Wow, you got to be a real Jippo to give like your wife some wooden earrings that you cut out. That is a fun way to... what's the difference between CO2 and diode lasers? But we have something like 12% power, I think. Yeah, so CO2 lasers are kind of just a different animal. Their power works really differently. So the way that these have been, the way that this is 22 watts is that they've literally stacked 6-watt diode lasers, put them all through a refracting mirror, and then they all go down to the same spot. So it's 22 watts that's realized, but it's not a single 22-watt laser. It's like 4 lasers that are all just aimed at the same point. So it's 22-watt effective power, but not an individual 22-watt laser. With a CO2, that's very different. If it says 22 watts is what it's putting out.
Yeah, it's a different beast, isn't it?
It's yeah. I'm just having a look to see if I've got something that we could do.
It's mad because like 12 months ago, 5-watt output was the big laser thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it was not long ago that what you were looking at when you were getting a laser was a 5-watt laser, and that was fine. Everyone was happy with that. No one thought they were being conned.
Yeah. And then you've got Comgrow coming out with a 10-watt, and then you've got Creality with this. What's your switch? You've got all the other companies as well, like X-Tool.
Right, let's try pulling that in.
Come on. Here.
So that's just going to do that as lines, I guess. Okay, fine.
Sit down.
So let's try doing this one. Right, start with a frame. Too big.
Right, you're going to lie down. Yes.
Try again. Still too big.
Well, yeah, everyone's looking for the next quicker print or the more powerful laser, and it's, you've got 4 lasers in that head there. That's going to be hot. If you're doing a print for an engraving for an hour or 2 hours, that's going to be one hot.
I mean, you have got the air assist, and there are dual fans on the side of this. And I tell you what, the fans that are on the side of this are shifting some air.
They need to, don't they? Because my 5-watt gets really hot when I've used it.
All right, let's see what this does then. Home it first. And then, so I'm
Glasses. Is it got belts on it, James?
Double safe.
Does it use belch, James, this one?
Remember, kids, you only get to make a mistake twice with a laser.
I think it's loud, that laser.
So this is now doing. I found like a face thing that I thought looked kind of cool. So I'm doing that. Only twice. Yeah, the first time when you set it on fire, and the second time when you try and put the fire out with water. I suppose. Oh, you only have 2 eyes, right? Fair play. Yeah. I feel like this is still definitely don't look into the laser with your remaining eye. Both my eyes work.
Not at the same time.
No, he has to close one at all times like a sniper.
I've got my tiny reading glasses, Mike.
Did you get them?
Yeah, they're amazing. Surely the first time we take out both eyes at once. It depends on how aggressive the laser's feeling that day. They can be very
You might be
vindictive.
winting. You kind of like look through one eye, really. Yes, cyber deck. Yeah, he's using light burn.
So I can tell you already. Are you using light burn? So I am indeed. Yeah, I'm using light burn. So I can tell you already that the quality that this is producing is far, far, far better than the quality that was being produced by the Atom Stack. So the Atom Stack was doing okay and it was passable, but with the air assist and the more powerful laser, it's really night and day. Plus, as well, the fact that this does actually home, whereas the Atom Stack didn't, makes it a million times easier to actually frame where the etching's going and place your material where it needs to be. It's one of the first times that I have unboxed and done like four etchings in 47 minutes, and they're not bad.
You'll be able to invite the missus to come in and look at your etchings.
Yeah.
Pardon?
You'll be able to invite the missus to come in and look at your etchings.
Yeah.
It is a lot quicker than like my Atom Stack.
So this is currently 14 millimeters a second, 1400 millimeters a second at 40 power. I think the power probably still needs to go down a little bit. The one I've got outputs 7.5 watts and does pretty well. Tried them with the same material. It may be that Creality sample wood is better. So these are all the same material. But here we go. So this is what it just turned out.
Okay, that's pretty cool, that.
I can take this off. So, like, that's on 40% power.
Jesus Christ.
So the power still needs to go down because this is still quite a thin material, but you can see how much that's going in. But that is very, very clean. Like, that's done a really, really nice job.
That's pretty cool.
That's the best we've had out of the laser so far, to be honest.
Yeah. And that's with, I mean, there's no setup. It's get the machine on, attach the tool head, plug the air assist, and plug the tool head in. I'm currently running it off of the PC directly through Lightburn. I could, if I wanted to, run it from an SD card. I'm going to be honest and say that I don't feel comfortable. Can you get the gantry moving fast enough to run at 100% output? Yeah, probably. Should we give it a go? Let's find out.
There's not enough smoke in there, so you might as well go for it.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so we're at 40% now, and it's too powerful, really. So, but we're at 1400 millimeters a second. So let's put that up Let's put that up to 10,000.
Yeah.
And then 100.
What could go
so
wrong?
uncomfortable. Oh God.
There's going to be a frame
funny, that gave me a real funny feeling in my stomach then.
Oh.
What have we got?
Just do it on the back of one of them because there's
I'll have to. Yeah,
it's going to be fire.
All right. Okay. Fine.
There's going to be something.
Hold on. Right.
Well,
Frame that.
On and on.
The problem is I don't want it to look. I'm going to run it. Just bear in mind that I've already etched on the other side of this. So if it's not perfectly clean, that's the reason why. So we're going at 10,000 millimeters a second and 100% power. Right. Start.
Oh, look at that smoke.
I'll tell you now, I don't think that's running at 10,000 millimeters a second. Like, not even close.
Oh, you can see that smoke bellowing right under you.
I don't actually think that it's running that much. I was saying that. Right, we're gonna let it run.
Get the beer ready to put it out.
It'll be interesting to see whether or not it sets off the smoke detection or if it sets off the fire detection. The problem is this is quite small, right? So you could debate that it's really not getting enough of a run up to get to that kind of speed. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not this kicks off any of the safety features.
My money's on you dropping dead first before that alarm goes off.
I can tell you already that it is cooking this. Like, it is absolutely cooking it.
We need some old rave music on. Be like the 80s
I
again.
think so. Because there's no way that's running at 10,000.
All we need now is a BMW and leather gloves.
Well, he used to have a BMW.
Yeah, and he's got leather gloves probably.
Yeah, but they're not used for driving.
No, just on weekends.
So there is a red light on this with the lens flashing. So
the lens is smoky.
You need a long cut. Yeah, I think you do. I think the acceleration is probably put quite far down. So it probably will do 10,000, but it needs a run to be able to do that. So there's a red light on the lens and it is flashing, but we're at 62% of the way through. We'll see whether or not it will get through it or whether or not this is going to trigger something. Because I'm not being funny. There's no open window
in there.
There are no windows.
No, there's no windows.
It's
I
just
don't need windows. That's for the week.
It's just getting more smoky in there. Like even the laser.
I might pop a door.
Like the laser, you can see the smoke bouncing off the laser, bouncing around.
Yeah. Shouldn't have kept saying anything. If it had passed that, it'd have been really fun. Would have made a great stream.
You can't smell CO2. No, but it stings. I smell burning. Well, it did it.
I thought it was upside.
I'll tell you this. It's not done an appalling job. It's not done an appalling job. So,
to be honest, Stephen, when he did the atom stat review, he did actually end up with dodgy glue.
So you can see there is
that's cut right
quite
through.
a bit of pass through there. You can see my finger behind bits of this. So that's my hand waving backwards and forwards. I'll say this, that's not an appalling job, but realistically, if you are etching as this is supposed to be, you wouldn't need to run the laser at even like 40%, I think. So I mean, I would probably keep this at about 50.
Still going through.
Yeah. I would probably keep this laser at about 40 for regular line stuff, and I do about 1500 millimeters a second. Hold it up to the light, okay? Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can aim this at a light. Hold on.
That looks quite good, actually.
Hold on. So as you can see, you can almost.
Yeah, but there's some really small parts on there that's actually cut out really well.
Like if you look at where the badge is, but like all the creases, you can see. And I'll tell you this, it's not burned the back. Like it's not charred up already. I mean, it is around the teeth, I suppose. But even then,
it's done its job.
And then there's two sets of teeth there.
Yeah, there's two sets of teeth there. This is obviously this. Don't forget, this was me etching. This part was already etched. So if I go like, hold on, that way, and then. Whoop.
It does look good though.
So that was pretty cool. I'm never going to get this camera back in the right place, but thanks for making me do that.
Stephen says, now pour some resin over it.
Now pour some resin over it. I've actually got some resin, actually, as it goes. So, I mean, apart from the very serious carcinogenic lung poisoning that I've just received, that works.
We've got the black
so right now, it is saying, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to take this off. And I'm just going to use the special the special brush to just clean.
Yeah, side with it. Yeah, the build up on the lasers with the smoke does have an impact on the cuts and the burns.
If I die from this, know that I suffered for my art.
What wash and cure station are you getting, Andrew?
Right. If I die, know that I died doing something that I loved, which is almost invariably something very stupid. So, all right, we turn that back on. And yes, thank you. Interesting, because it still says that the lens has got a red flash, even though I just cleaned it. So do I need to? So if I'm cleaning it, do I need to take off the?
That little wipe you had. You know the little cloth you had.
Little magic cloth.
Yeah.
Maybe that was for the lens.
Oh no, it's all right. This unscrews. There we go. So that you can get to the lens. That makes sense. I wasn't cleaning the lens. I was just sticking it down a. I was just sticking it down a hole. Right. Okay. And then we pop that back on. At 40% output, it's only 8 watt, then basically the same as mine at 7 point. Yeah, probably. Yeah. So let's just see. Does that go away? Lens still flashing red. So maybe I do need to use the special. Oh. I shouldn't have done close-up magic with it. Oh my God, unplug it. It was unplugged. I was unplugging it from here. So just to be clear, this is where the off button is, and then I was pulling out the power supply. I wasn't just ripping a laser out and having a crack. Like it was off. You're facing down the barrel of a genuinely it was off. It was off. And it was unplugged. Look, this is the power supply right here. So it's not it's not plugged in. I'm not mental. So the air assist is really clean, and I mean it's done a lovely job. So all I need to do is figure out how I better clean the laser part out, because this little brush doesn't seem to be making the difference that it should be.
And it was going so well.
Is that definitely what that red light is? That it needs cleaning?
Well, it says lens. What else could it mean?
Is it hot?
No. So it is worth noting that this is ultimately a Class 4 laser. And as a result, you should obviously treat it with a level of respect that you should treat a Class 4 laser product. So the garage should be better ventilated than it is. I currently do have the door open, but it should be better ventilated than that.
Yes.
And really, you should consider having an enclosure. Now, I don't think Creality actually sell an enclosure for this machine at the moment.
No, DTM, we've done loads of etchings on it so far.
This is going at $1,200 at the moment, TDM. Cyberdeck, it says on the website, it monitors the lens. And like James
it's got a lens to know when the lens is smoked. Yep. You're still building that. What's the price on this? So I mean, it's done and it works. And to be clear, the results are really quite nice. Like, to go out of 5 etchings, even going in at 100%, and this is now, I mean, yeah, this is as cut out as it's going to get. I mean, it does exactly what it said on the tin. I'm really impressed by it. So the next thing is to start trying different materials and start cutting out starting doing some cuts as well. So obviously at the moment we've just done etchings. So I'm going to ramp up that. I'm going to ramp down the speed. I don't like to run lasers at 100%. I find that it shortens the life of the laser. You should be able to run it at 100%, just to be clear. But I prefer to run mine at about 60-70% max. So if I do that, saying something positive about a Creality product. So let me just be very clear. I am 95% sure that there's not a single person at Creality who designed or had anything to do with this particular thing, right? This is something that has a Creality badge on it.
Broke. He had something to do with it.
Yeah.
There's Creality stickers in there.
Bad price. So I mean, look, it's not cheap. If you buy this direct from Creality right now, the price right now is $1,199 for the 22-watt version.
And if
that comes with a built-in air assist, and their claim is that you can even do different temperatures or different, so you can do different powers, and it will do stainless steel in different colors. So there's an awful lot to play about with and try to figure out how it, what it's going to do and how it's going to do it and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be really interested to see how it works and how it carries on working. I think it'll be a really interesting one to try. One of the things that I've been wanting to make for a while is a paint rack for my painting area. I've got some thin ply, and I'm going to try and do the paint rack that I've managed to find that hopefully will make it a little bit easier for me to organize my paints. So yeah, I mean, ultimately that's it. That was a very, very quick setup, and then diving straight into etchings. Worked with light burn straight out of the gate. All the features worked straight out of the gate, and the machine is doing exactly what it says on the tin. So a thumbs up for the moment. I want to be clear. We still need to do the all of the all the actual review stuff, and we need to test all of the safety features as well. There's like 9 different ways to turn this thing off. So there's a big stop button. There's a key to turn it off as well. Plus there is an off button, and there is then the power supply to pull out. So there's there's a lot of ways to turn it off. There's supposed to be a tilt sensor. There's supposed to be a fire sensor. There's supposed to be a smoke sensor as well. So we will play about with all of those and try to trigger them to see whether or not they actually turn the machine off nice and safely. To be clear, you should absolutely never leave one of these unattended. But this has a number of safety features so that whilst you are using it and attending it, it should work pretty well. So with that in mind, I think we'll leave the stream there. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for joining us in the comments. If you have any questions, if you want anything you want to see in the review, let me know. Put it in the comments, and we will do everything we can to try and make sure that that does get included in the overall review as well. See you on the next video. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Bye.